Reddit, what became of the least popular kids in your high school? Kid I went to high school with got a restraining order put on him after stalking a couple girls in our class. He said that they were angels sent to him from God. According to his Facebook, he's now a real estate agent and is the prophet of a religion that he started. I did not become the next Unabomber, as voted by my high school classmates. So that's nice. According to Facebook, he's a banker in Nick, has 3 kids, and acts as a bloodthirsty Viking in medieval reenactments on the weekend. Seems pretty happy and successful. The weird thing is he had long, straight, blonde hair in high school, perfect for a Viking, but he has since cut it all off and wears a wig in the reenactments. Kid was always an introverted band member. Went to elementary through high school with him. He is now in a pretty popular screamo band and is touring the US. Playing at venues like the Crowfoot and Warped Tour. Still looks like your classic nerd though. Least popular kid here. I remember a day where there was a fist fight in the lunch line because 2 boys didn't want to stand next to me. I ate lunch in the choir room because otherwise I risked being teased the entire time. The band and choir rooms were my only escape. I teach band now. I don't hate on the popular kids and I don't force group work. But I do keep an eye out in particular for kids that are being excluded. It's so much sneakier than outright bullying and it hurts so much. I want to make sure my room is available as a sanctuary for those kids that may not have somewhere else to go. There was this super quiet mousy girl named Rachel who, upon graduation, got a job at Walmart. A 45-year-old shelf stocker noticed her and basically made a project out of F-king her the moment she turned 18. Wound up knocking her up basically the first time she had sex with him and she gives birth to a daughter. Rachel's dad lost his mind when he found out she was pregnant and beat the shit out of the guy and was then charged with assault and now has a criminal record. This was just under 20 years ago. And I just heard that Rachel's daughter, who is 18 now, just got impregnated by her 50-year-old boyfriend. So, solicited a prostitute when he turned 18. She robbed him. He called the cops on her. Now he's in jail. Can't make this shit up. Edit. He went to jail for the prostitute thing. Why he's still in jail I don't know. It's unrelated. Sorry for the confusion. People. Everyone was afraid of this guy. Except me. I actually worked up the courage to talk to him. And it turned out he was surprisingly normal. He was a very big kid and looked older and also just looked very mean. I got to know him a bit and he was actually pretty friendly. If I was around him more I would have been friends with him too. I'm not sure if something happened before I knew him or what. Normally there would be stories about someone if that were the case. I never heard anything bad about him. But people were really scared of him. I felt really sorry for him because he was this big friendly giant. And everyone else was too intimidated to give him a chance. Turns out they were right. A few years after high school, he murdered his mother. I kind of wonder if she was very manipulative or was horrible to him or something. He was very aware of how big and strong he was. So he always went out of his way to gentle and nice. Still though, the whole thing was very disturbing to read about. Edit. No. It was not Ed Kemper. I was the least popular kid in high school. Now I upgraded to being least popular kid in university. I don't know if he was truly the least popular because he was well known by everyone. He was just not well liked. But he kind of got through life by truly not caring. He hits on every girl constantly and unsuccessfully, as far as I could tell. Was generally creepy. I don't know what happened to him for about 20 years. But I reconnected with him on FB when we were late 30s. He spent a decent amount of time apologizing to people publicly there and became a sheriff's deputy in a mid-sized southern US town. Which set off red flags to me, but all of them seem to be unfounded. He seems to be doing okay and is married to a woman he appears to adore. I'm dead tired but still doing kind of okay. Moved to the USA. Works for Google on a 6-figure salary. Watched some of his podiums on YouTube. Smart guy. This one guy I was friends with from K-12 who was quite unpopular started out quite well. He had an okay job. But he managed to marry a beautiful woman and have 2 beautiful kids in spite of being fairly unattractive himself. Sounds like a happy story. But then his wife left him. His parents both died. His kids want nothing to do with him and he's entered a spiral of depression that has pushed away anyone who is left in his life. You okay, pal? Not the least popular or the most, but the one who would most likely be voted to get stoned and eat Subway all day now owns a whole bunch of Subways. Not sure if he still gets stoned, but he is rolling in the proverbial dough. Edit. Till a lot of you guys don't know what getting stoned means. It means to get high. Smoke weed. Yeah, no, our trees, man. Come on. There was this kid at my school who was pretty camp. So people called him gay a lot. He hated it. He got called gay several times a day every day for years. And he eventually got a girlfriend. People would say things to her like, you know, your boyfriend is gay. Right? Which obviously annoyed them both. I looked him up on Facebook yesterday. He's happily dating a man. The prophecy has been fulfilled. The guy from my school was super introvert and acted a little bit strange. I secretly thought that maybe he had some sort of mental problem. Like autism or something similar. I never knew for sure. Nevertheless, he was a really nice guy. Sometimes I went to his house on summers to hang out with him. And he always invited me to his birthday parties. 7 years after graduating. He is almost a doctor. He was extremely smart. And has a beautiful girlfriend who is just as shy as him. But equally as nice. I'm really happy for them. He ended up upping a girl. This thread's a big 50/50. His girlfriend distributed his nudes in high school. The kid had a hard time. After high school he became a plumber and everyone kind of forgot. Still fixed the shitty out of my pipes. Looks like brand new. So I'd say 10/10 because I haven't had a problem ever since. There was a guy who would sit in the back of class and crush up Lifesaver mints and snort them. He said it burned. He's now a state representative. One became a video editor for a Christian media company and is still a complete piece of shitty. The other works in a sugar factory and seems to have matured a lot. And me? Well, some say I'm still shitty posting on the internet to this very day. You know those stupid senior polls? Most likely to be successful? Etc. I won most annoying. Burned my yearbook so can't show. I lived with my parents for a while. Moved 5 hours away. Currently working as a people greeter at Walmart. Without friends. Without romance. And without much prospects for the future. I guess I'm okay. My sister is a high school teacher. How do I know she was unpopular? She was on the debate team. Her yearbook literally has the debate team on one of the last pages. Not even in the table of contents and literally only one photo taken from the beginning of the year. She wasn't even invited to her high school reunion. She had to go as one of her friends' guests. They sent an invitation to the stoner in jail for Grand Theft Auto but not the debate team. I went to a really small high school. Graduating class of 40 and had a talent for getting people together. So all of us weird kids became fast friends. One dropped out 2 months before HS graduation. Married another friend of mine. And had a daughter last month. Another still in college. Going for a year at a time. Working at Dollar General in the time between. And being an awesome older brother to his age younger sisters. One's studying animation at university. And her portfolio looks amazing. One joined the Air Force. Got married 2 months later. And moved to Hawaii. One's working at Disney World RN and simultaneously hating and loving it. One's parents moved away as soon as she was 18. So she was couch surfing until she started rooming with her BF's family. Oddly enough, my school didn't have any unpopular kids. We all got along fine. Granted, my graduating class had like 60 people. But still. We all went to school together from first grade on. So we all knew each other and got along perfectly fine. Most of the kids in my class went on to college. The ones that didn't either went into the military, jail, or joined the workforce on the railroad refinery. Rural schools are weird like that. I'm on Reddit now. Beat an old lady in a road rage incident. In prison now. One got heavily into drugs. One blossomed and became stunningly attractive. One became very wealthy in tech. For the popular kids. One got heavily into drugs. The hottest girl in school became actively unattractive. The rich kid is now bagging groceries. No idea. Still don't know their names. I was the least popular kid in my high school, or at least in my grade. Even the teachers didn't like me and the school administrators framed me for breaking into their computer system. I work as a programmer analyst for a small IT company. I am very well respected in my position. I still have a hard time making friends. But I now know why. I have done therapy with a psychologist and apparently being physically abused by my dad and seeing my parents emotional abusing each other kept me up good. As a result, I wasn't able to relate in a healthy way to people around me and I became the least popular kid. I just started antidepressants and anxiety medication and I am crossing my fingers that it will fix me. I was one of them. Did the military thing. Went to college. Overall doing much better than I or anyone else expected. Truth be told, there was a reason why I was unpopular. Argumentative. Selfish. Condescending. Bad at understanding social norms. Rude. Etc. Took a long time for me to correct these faults. And it is still a work in progress. Still have the outcast mentality. Hard when I don't care about sports, religion, TV shows, holidays, or most other cultural gatherings. I get a lot of reading done though and I have a friend. All in all, everything is good. She ditched her glasses and became a L'Oreal model in her home country Finland. Poor and unpopular kid here. I put myself through college and now have a 6-figure salary and I solo travel internationally for fun. Still no boyfriend husband, but at least I'm not trapped in a bad marriage in my hometown. Edit. The amount of PMs I'm getting offering to be my boyfriend husband is hilarious. Is this what it feels like to be popular? Also, check out Axolotl if it's something you would like to try. One kid who was bullied excessively became a chef at a posh restaurant and has a hot girlfriend. I follow him on Instagram. She was very odd, super thick glasses, curly mullet, and Tourette's syndrome. She was sweet, but really weird. Kids made fun of her a lot. She got really good grades but was even nerdier than the stereotypical nerd. Last I heard, she became a teacher, married a really cute guy, and bought a house somewhere far away. I don't know what happened to all of the kids that picked on her, but one of them works at a gas station in the same town she grew up in. So karma can be a thing sometimes. Another kid I was friends with in elementary school was a complete nerd, but incredibly smart. I was only in 3rd grade when we were friends, so I didn't quite get how smart he was until he built robotic penguins from scratch for a science project. Really blew my crappy cardboard kaleidoscope out of the water. He left school shortly after that. I found him on LinkedIn. Apparently he runs his own software company based on his doctoral thesis and it looks like he got a job with IBM right out of high school. The one guy got cancer in his mid-40s. About a week before he died, word got out on social media and spread through all the former students. Half of his graduating class, probably about 600 people, sent him encouraging emails and letters during his last week of life. And if I knew I had a week left to live, the last thing I'd want is a bunch of former classmates suddenly appearing to make themselves feel better. How patronizing. Searching for myself in the thread. I thought of one person specifically. He was the type of kid to flip his eyelids inside out. He didn't talk much unless it was to say something strange. Super smart but refused to do any of his homework, so he was always failing his classes. Played video games like crazy. Last I heard, he's a computer hacker for the CIA. Whether that's true or not, who knows? I grew up in a small town and there's always rumors going around. It also wouldn't surprise me either though. It seems they ended up on Reddit. Jamie had a chance. He went to college to be a teacher. As he was about to start student teaching, his dad cheated on his mom, which resulted in non-stop yelling and screaming in his house. This cumulative to a night where he had to run out of his house calling 911 after domestic violence occurred. He went into hiding for a few days. A week later his cat died. As he does his student teaching, his mentor is a crazy ass person who makes his life more hell than it is, and he fails student teaching. He takes student teaching again and fails once again. A whole year where he didn't work, only to get no money, no degree, and his dreams in the shattered ruins of a once promising life. He now works a minimum wage job, struggling to find a reason to keep moving forward in all the madness. His dad hasn't worked for a year. His mom may lose her job because they are thinking about closing her office down. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Emmy. Yeah, I was one of them. I was unpopular because I was just so goddamn weird. Somehow I got labeled as a weirdo cribby when I was younger, so I just kind of ran with it as I got older and well into my late teens. Nowadays I work in IT, make decent coin, work out and mountain bike, and have a girlfriend. So I guess I'm doing fairly average decent. This kid in high school was a complete loner and just liked to play the guitar. He was John Mayer. A long time ago I Facebook searched a lot of my graduating class. Found a girl that got seriously bullied all the f***ing time. She was really nice, but she kept to herself a lot, probably as a defense mechanism. She was a chubby, dark Mexican girl with a rolling backpack, a very out-of-date fashion sense, and very few friends, if any. I barely recognized her when I found her profile. She looked like a completely new person. She graduated uni, looked like she had a boyfriend or husband, and a lot of travel photos with friends. It was a very wholesome find. Sometimes I find stuff like that, and I think, well, if they can do it with everything they had standing in their way, I think I can do it too. I was one of the least popular. I'm doing well. Being popular in high school is only a concern if you're in high school, which I haven't been in a decade. One of them joined the Marines. He didn't get far, but FCK the little guy tried. So patronizing lol. I'm doing alright. Thanks for asking. All kidding aside, I was absolutely not popular with a capital N and P. Crass, edgy, loudmouth weirdo with a superiority complex. Not likable in any way. I mellowed out in university. Stopped being an edgy douche. Got married. Bought a house. Got some dogs. I run a small business and my wife is a PhD, so we make good money. We travel and enjoy spending our wealth to make our friends and family happy. I honestly wish I had the opportunity to do it all again. There's lots of things I would do differently, obviously, but it's a fool's errand to look back and wish for things you cannot change. Claimed the username Lost Son of Pluto. Not sure how much to put here. It's quite a story. I moved halfway through my junior year to a new city. New HS. Had maybe 3 friends total. I never fit in with any group. Wasn't nerdy enough to hang with nerds. Not into sports enough to hang with sports kids. Not punk enough to hang with punks. This was late 80s. Later started a tech company with some kids I knew from HS. Sold company for millions of years later. Lost millions when tech market crashed. Oops, and eventually succeeded again. Bonus. Just last year was nominated as a distinguished alumni. A plaque of me on the HS wall. And a speech to the 700 plus senior class. What a ride. If anyone votes, I can give the full story with proof. He went to work right after high school at McDonald's and never left. He's been there 20 years and is the grill manager. Has a son and seems happy. I have so much respect for him. Instead of taking handouts, he has the guts and strength to work a difficult and low-paying job for 20 years. In my mind, he is a huge success. I think of suicide every day. Don't do it. Seriously. I'm married to my best friend. A doctor with a great career. In my own house. There was a kid that I made sure I was friends with in high school at least. Mostly because I thought if one more person was awful to him, he'd f***ing kill us. He grew up to make a bunch of friends with like-minded people who are part of the Second Amendment town militia type. Post pictures of their guns. Post pictures of others' guns. Pictures of explosions and whatnot. He still might kill us. But he didn't kill us in school. And that's what matters. He went to Johns Hopkins to study microbiology. His hobby was making microchips and testing them. I think he gets paid for that now. Not many people can do that.